Mission my hum.
Okay, the stream is live.
Yay!
Let's go.
Gentlemen, this is the mic check. This is the mic check.
Hello, hello.
1, 2, 3.
Hello, what's up?
So
So,
let us know
HammerHouse.
whether our mic is in perfect condition.
Hello, baby.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
If you are wondering why this mic, this camera setup looks kind of funky, like something's a little off with regards to the HammerCast, the format. But you know, such things happen. We do have machines, the machine uprising.
It's a
Right.
machine spirit.
Yeah.
They are
discussions.
taking up arms and revolting against us, and they're just simply not working. There are times when this happens, and we got to jury rig a solution out and create basically half a miracle. Thanks to the efforts of the good folks here. And then, all right,
at work.
Johan, how are we doing?
No sound.
How are we doing on the sound?
No stream.
No stream. Okay,
You
you're
check
fresh.
the HammerHouse. You search HammerHouse in the YouTube search.
Sekali already. Nice.
Oh, let's go. We're here.
Test
Hello.
1,
You-
2, 3.
Seems like the
Hello.
Johan, could you hear me?
All right. Seems
Hello,
alright.
everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, as I was saying, we have a bit of a machine malfunction just now. One of our webcams just decide, hey, you know what? I feel like working from home today, and this ain't home. All right, whatever you may call HammerHouse, I call it Hammer Work, and I'm not working in the Hammer tonight.
It just took an urgent leave.
Took urgent leave,
Yeah.
childcare leave, compassionate leave, all of the leave, hospitalization leave. Okay, and you know what? Here at HammerHouse, we are good employers. We say, all right, broskies, you got your reasons. We'll let you go. We let you go. All right, Mr. Alex Huang, thank you very much for tuning in. And I would like to apologize for the tardiness. Partially my fault, partially the camera's fault. Sometimes it's just the vicissitude of life. Okay, enough of me rambling. I'm talking. Enough of these shenanigans. Please welcome our two guests. Okay, Chen Kai and Vic.
Hello.
And they are from the Q Team community. Okay, so this is
Yay.
the third and final installment. Wow. Maybe, okay, we don't know.
So soon final install.
Well, we don't know if it's the final installment. Like, anything could happen, as we all see in the HammerHouse. But for the time being, in terms of planning, the third and final installment of the community leaders segment. Okay. And today we'll be talking to the community leaders of Q Team. Do you guys consider yourself community leaders? I mean, we use this term, we throw it around. I never pause to consider how our guests feel about the term. How do you guys feel about the term?
No, not really a leader. I just happen to be one of the more frequent players around. And I happen to be the one running most of the events here. Then most of the people know me. So, yeah.
If you all are organizing, hosting, on point, talking, communicating, you're leaders. Whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. I mean, it's one of those things. It's one of those things that sometimes it's not what we seek, it's what's thrust upon us. And, you know, it just happens occasionally, but hey,
Yeah, but
it's all good in the
I also
neighborhood.
can't take all the credit. I mean, I have a lot of other Q Team players as well who has been helping me a lot with a lot of things like teaching new players or like offering their own terrain sets for use for everyone in the community, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I cannot really say that I am a leader. I don't really lead them in that way. It's more of like maybe perhaps I am like the more prominent player. Like I am more approachable. People know who I am. So like a lot of times when they have things or questions, they tend to come to and find me first. Yeah.
Alright.
It's a familiar face.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so a familiar face, sometimes, you know, maybe that's all you really need in order for you to be an effective communicator, a leader. Sorry, let me just double check. What's up?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yeah, you guys, project
Ah.
your voice. We need projection.
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 Project
alright?
my hate for
We need to put ourselves out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have someone called Bar. I'm not a leader. That's what a leader would say. Well,
Yes.
that makes sense.
You.
Yeah,
That's why
man.
you're a leader.
hence
Big deserve
yes.
well study, man.
this is the ship of Theseus, right? The thing, right? Is like, what is the essence of a leader? What is the essence of a thing? Okay, so the essence of a leader sometimes is just being approachable, being the guy on point. You might not necessarily lead in the traditional sense in the terms of, hey, Apao, you go over there. That's not precisely a leader, that's a commander.
Yes.
No, that's
Yeah.
a Q-team player.
Wow, good one. Love it.
Then your guy move, press button, enter.
Yes. Absorb bullets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fight,
Right.
enter.
That's the typical armchair general, okay? They tell you things from afar, okay?
Yes.
Now, you know, when HammerHouse, they came to me, right? And then they say, hey, John, we're gonna talk to the guys from Q team, right? You know, there was a tingle in my twinkle, you know? And I'm just like, man, there is something I'm so urgent. I really need to ask, okay? What's up with those symbols in your rulebook in the previous edition? Bro, when I heard about it, right, I'm just like, there's no way. I'm getting pranked on. Turns out, right, holy moly, it was true. Okay? In your previous edition, okay, I'm not going to rag on you for too long about it.
Yep,
but
yep.
This is
Yeah.
the burning question number one thing that I have in my mind.
Let me
Okay.
clarify something first.
Okay,
The
please
symbols
do.
are still around. Is that everything is now triangle?
Everything is, everything is now triangular. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have came across two reasons for this. The actual one and the for fun one. So the for fun one is that Game So Short is trying to market it to kindergarteners, young children.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
That's why it also came out at around the same time where they had all the 40k children books. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember reading those. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the actual reason, right, is quite close to what the Zan has mentioned in the previous podcast. Yeah. So yeah, check out the previous podcast as well. So the actual reason is that when they were doing the development for the game, right, they actually put in colors instead of shapes. So there were no shapes yet, there were colors. Something like blue is, I can't really remember offhand. So white is 2 inches, blue is 6
basically,
inches.
colors for stand-in.
Yeah, red is 1 inch, that kind of stuff. Then after a while, when they switch over to the actual product, right, then they realize that, hey, maybe we have colorblind players, we cannot be using colors. So they go and arrow someone to go and like put in some shapes. Then that someone is probably like underpaid, rushing for lunch. So just anyhow put in some shapes, then send in print. Done.
Yeah, but it seems so.
Yeah, it seems very haphazard and like not really thought out.
Yes.
Yes. So
I mean,
like triangle is 1 inch, circle is 2 inch, like
yeah.
pentagon for 6 inches is like very weird.
That the pentagon for 6 inches, it blows my mind. I feel like that's such a wasted opportunity. Like, of all the shapes, that is the worst one.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I get what they were trying to do is that they were trying to encourage the use of these measuring tools. So like it's a lot easier for gameplay instead of like pulling out the entire 12-inch ruler then trying to measure your stuff.
Yep.
So they have this very nice triangular shaped tool where you can go like 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, that kind of stuff, 3 inches, 3 inches. Yeah. So in that sense, they can also simplify the rulebook and stuff. So like instead, your effect is instead of 6 inches, they'll just say like 3 times 2 inches. Then I have a debuff that minus 2 inches, something like that. Yeah.
So I guess, okay, well, the only thing that I would say to all of this, right, is of course the community is one thing, and then GW is another thing altogether.
Yep.
Okay, as someone who has been thoroughly betrayed by GW, who got his heart ripped out of his chest while the heart is still beating,
Yep.
and then sacrificed to the gods of the end times, okay, as a result of all this shenanigans. I have to say, right, GW is not particularly well known for their rule sets. They're not good rule writers. Let's just put it this way. They have amazing models. Okay, their models always on point. Okay, my ex-boss used to say GW is a company run by artists. Okay, but there are no lawyers in there.
Oh,
Okay?
indeed.
I mean, of course, they are very litigious lah. They will go and sue people, whatever. Right? But as in,
that one
nobody,
lah.
yeah, nobody.
They take down a lot of community projects like the animations.
Okay. Yep.
That's
Yeah, but-
very shameful.
But they are not rule makers.
Yes.
yeah,
Which is this is par for the course. Okay, I already know this. Okay, now, so branching off right from what I understand about this game so far, the impression is not great. Okay, all I know is Pentagon 6-inch. Okay, that's not great. But let's just talk about rule set wise. Okay, for the time, let's just talk high level stuff now.
Okay.
From a broad point of view, rule set wise, what would you say kind of like stands out for Kill Team compared to other systems?
Definitely is the reaction activation kind of thing. So like for most tabletop games, it goes like okay, this is my turn. I do everything. I move everything. I shoot everything. I charge everything. I'm done. Then I pass it over to you. Then your turn, you do everything, and then you're done. You pass it back to me. So for Q Team, right, it's more of I activate one guy. That one guy does his stuff. Then I'm done. Then I pass it to you. Then you activate one guy. You are done. Then pass it back to me, and we go back and forth until we are all done. So it's a bit more like XCOM style in that sense. Yeah.
Sounds a bit like Guild Ball.
Yes.
I think,
Yes,
Guild Ball
yes.
is one. Is Infinity the same? Or
Infinity-
is the whole team activate then reaction, is it?
No, they have this ARO thing. If I remember correctly, they have the ARO. So they still can react.
Yeah.
So because of this I go you go system, right, there's less downtime on the waiting player.
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't wait like 30 minutes before you start the action. It's like
Or even turn one, half of your army is gone.
Yeah.
And also like in Q Team there are some teams that have like certain reactions they can do. So like they can set up mines, then if you run past a mine, boom,
Yeah.
you die.
Indeed.
die.
Yep. Or like I think
Very
Boom
Dark
Blade-
Souls.
yeah. Boom Blade, they have one of the melee guys who can be like on guard. So if you come too near to him, then he will charge you and fight you on your turn instead.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yes. Eldar. Corsairs, I remember.
Yeah, Corsairs also have.
Yes.
Soy.
Yeah. You go too close, like going to charge you, and then you're stuck there. Oh no! I couldn't shoot my gun. Yeah.
Yes.
Frustrating, but it could be very rewarding if you have this smart plays and you think of it, you use it.
so
Yeah.
Yep.
would you say like Kill Team is a game of also like forward thinking? Like you need to think about 2 or 3 turns ahead of time, or 2 or 3 activations ahead of time.
Okay, there's like the overall strategy. So whereby you are planning like, okay, maybe I want to do a hammer and view style. So like my main forces is here. I have a flanking force up here. I try and drag the person in, come in and get the objective first before I hammer him. That kind of more bigger picture strategies. Then at the same time, there's like more smaller level 1v1 kind of thing. Like, okay, my guy is a melee guy. Your guy is a range guy. I need to think of a way to get close to you to beat you up before you shoot me to pieces. Something like that. But at the end of the day, you can have all this strategy, right? But when the dice goes wrong, that's it. Or if the dice go too well for you, then okay. There's like maybe it's time for a better plan. That kind of stuff.
I mean, we are all in the hands of the RNGesus. This one is without a doubt.
That's why it's very
Dice
important for your
Yeah.
dice to match your Q team.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, is that a thing? Is that like
Yeah,
a
it's a very pantang thing.
Yeah,
Which is why you see like Q team players have like quite a lot of dices compared to other games.
absolutely.
so
Dice
all the-
must match. the
must
Q
match
team.
lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If don't match, then
Then you can.
That's on you.
yeah,
That's on you.
you just roll over and just like kill.
Yeah.
So if you find like your dice luck isn't working too well, right? Yeah, it's time to change your dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make it match the Q team.
If you need recommendation, you can look for me.
Yeah, we got amazing dices.
But yeah, back to the question. Yes, there is like a rough, bigger picture strategy. There's a lot of smaller scale thinking involved as well. But most of the time, the planning is very reactive. Like you see what's going on there, and then you try and go for it, and then you see what's the outcome there. How do you adjust to the outcome? Yeah. So
Yeah.
like for example, you are planning like, okay, I have 2 melee guys. They will go in and grab the objective and beat up anyone nearby. Then your opponent sees that happening. Okay, then instead of coming to play melee with you, he decides to just leave the 2 guys alone, and he swings his entire forces all the way to the other side of the map. Then what do you do then?
Yeah, you gotta adapt very quickly
Correct.
because your opponent does that. So if you don't think to level the opponents, that's on you. Yeah, you are thinking of your the grand plan when everything falls into place like a domino, but things don't go that way, right? In real life, in Q team.
So okay, now I I understand like broadly speaking, what kind of stratagems has to be in effect. Now one of the things that I'm always very curious about, right, when I'm interviewing the community leaders, and this is a question I asked so far all of them. except for Beyblade lah, because Beyblade quite straightforward. But in terms of like the teams involved in Q team itself. So let's say for example, fantasy, Warhammer Fantasy, rank and flank, Kings of War, rank and flank. Infinity, okay, I get it. It's like space optimism with like ninjas, whatever sprinkle on board. Then I have activation points lah on a per model basis. So some models might not get to activate. Okay, and then objective is important, and you can die instantly despite being your biggest piece. So that means Death Stars are not allowed, or Death Stars are discouraged. So these are the overall theme of the game. Now, if I were to ask each of you, both our guests, in let's say 20 words or less, to sum up, to have like a theme for Q team, all right? What would you say the theme of the game, like writ large, is?
Chen Kai, you first.
Okay, I think my answer will be just condensed into the second half of the name of the game, which is the team. So you see, Q team is not a game where you can just buff one guy to the maximum and then just throw him to blend out all your opponents. But there are a lot of teamworks being involved. Say, for example, in Exertion Squad, there's someone called Leash Master. He has a leash, and then that obviously means that he has a dog. It's a Cyberman thief. And then they can do a combo. And then also there are other teams, say for example in Novitiates, there is going to be like a Repentia Superior, a lady with a whip. And then there's a Repentia lady that gets whipped. So obviously the combo. So the lady with the whip is going to chase that teammate who is going to get whipped to speed up and then to chop away the opponents. So you see the teamwork, the team dynamics of all the miniatures you're playing is going to be very important. So you gotta know the entire team very well instead of just relying on one or two guys. That
the thing I keep hearing is about whips lah.
Oh man,
We're gonna whip the door. We're gonna whip the
HammerHouse
door.
after dark.
whoa,
That's why we are holding it at night, like 9 p.m. at night.
So
Okay.
wait, hang on a second. Let me just clarify. So
yeah.
You'll say something like combo is the name of the game lah.
I
you
think
see,
so.
What we want is the individual pieces still need to come together and perform cooperative acts or some sort of multiplicative actions that kind of are greater than the sum of their parts.
That one is if you are like a more experienced player who are trying to get more out of your operatives. Otherwise, the usual move, shoot, dash still works as well.
Yeah.
Move, shoot, and
Yeah,
turn,
you
just
could also do
anga
anga banga. yeah, that could give you simple parts.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Vic,
Mm.
your answers please. Yeah.
Okay,
How would you
so
describe?
20 words or less. Let me just keep it
Whoa.
short. Okay.
Okay,
So,
I mean, look,
little,
we don't stick to the word limit lah. I mean, just a
400 essay, let's
Q team
go.
is about little pockets of flavor. Then you have the whole army in your hand. Just like that. Like this is one full Q team by itself, and so are all those. So the nice thing about Q team is that they managed to make it very flavorful for all the different teams. Yeah. So you can really feel like how the team is supposed to be, not only in terms of gameplay, but also in terms of the lore. And the lore tends to translate quite well into the gameplay. So for example, like your Pathfinders, right? They play very differently from every other team. They are a bunch of like about 12 men. They will run around and point laser marker lights at people. Then when they try and stack
Don't
up
do that in real life, by the way.
there's no point at people's
Yeah.
eyes,
Unless you have a big gun.
So they will like try and stack up the marker lights on a single target. So everybody point the laser at one target. Then everybody fire at the same target, then the target dies.
So that's also like a type of combo, right?
Correct.
Wouldn't you say?
Yep. So like to your point about Death Star teams, right?
I mean, that's like
Yeah.
to me lah, my interpretation of Infinity. If I were to surmise lah, okay, like according to Zhan Hui, that because of the general fragility of things, wherein you seem to be able to get one-shotted even by a lowly guy quite easily, Death Stars are not encouraged lah, because you can sink a lot of points into something, then for it to just die on a very meaningful turn or meaningless turn, I should say. And then
Over here, Death Star is also not really encouraged because of blast. Like if you have one big blob of people moving around together like a tour guide kind of thing, right? If one guy can be seen, then your opponent can shoot like a missile launcher in there, then it will explode and everybody will gonna.
So in terms
Everybody
of
yeah.
the Death Star concept, right? It's not necessarily like a blob of guys. So
Yes,
it could
I
just be that you sync off, like let's say it's I don't know how the point system in Infinity works, but let's say in fantasy, right, there used to be like 2,400 point games, and then what you can do, right, like realistically speaking, you can sync like 1,000 over points, like more than half your army into one unit and one lot, for example. You can put like almost 1,400 points, which is like half of your army pointage into this one thing. And then this thing just marches forward, and then it just everything it touches, it deletes. And the point of it is to make it like an unstoppable feature of your army. And people have a very difficult time trying to dislodge it. It's either my Death Star versus your Death Star, or I have to use some other sort of cheese to negate your Death Star. So it's like the Star Wars, right, where this super laser just blows up the entire planet. And the only way to destroy it is the one the main character must come in with the proton.
Then the fly X-wing into
correct. In the trenches.
For Q team, we don't really have this issue because the way you build your team is very different from other games. I believe most other games they have some sort of point system. So let's say 1,000 points. So like in your case, you will just take 1,000 points divided by the cheapest guy, then you just get that many people on the table. For Q team, right, they tell you specifically this is your leader, and these are the X number of guys that you can use, and this X number of people, right, you can only choose them from this list of people, and you can only bring like one each of them. So in that case, right, your Space Marine team will forever only have 6 people.
So it's like it's kind of like a pre-made, but with some option. With some
you can like switch out their weapons.
Imagine ordering a burger, and then on a kiosk they say, "Oh, you can remove the lettuce, you can add more mayonnaise, but you cannot."
Still a burger. You can't choose the pasta.
Like you go
not
to
that much.
McDonald's, then you choose instead of fries, you want the corn cup.
Right. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. Yes. Inside the combo. Yes.
All right. So essentially, okay.
So because your team is fixed, right? So there is less cheesing in that sense. There are other things that you can cheese on, but we'll get to that in a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I get what you mean by flavor. I think that's a very distinct part of the game,
Correct.
which seems to be so I think there are like ups and downs to it. So of course, in terms of being easy to pick up, meaning to say any new player can just come in, look, I like Space Marines, look, I like Eldar, whatever. I will just have a sort of pre-made team with limited options. Yes. But at the very least, it's like I don't have to think too hard. I don't have to think like, what models, and then buy them separately. It's like this team comes in, bam, on the table, let's rock and roll.
That said, if you are new to Q team, do check with other more experienced players on how to build a team, because it's very easy to go. It's very easy to end up with a like illegal team, so to speak. If you were to like, if you're not very sure what is what. Like I have like some cases of like people, they like try and build based on what they think is cool, so they end up with one guy with 2 swords. Then when they bring it to the game, then sorry, no 2 swords allowed, only one only.
But
so are you saying that this game is a WYSIWYG game?
Okay, so WYSIWYG for the uninitiated among the audience, just in case, is what you see is what you get. That's the acronym.
Yes.
So meaning to say, if your character model has a pistol in his hand, then that denotes that this character must use a pistol. You cannot say that, this guy is a melee character, I'm proxying him to be a melee character. You can't do that. So, or if let's say this Space Marine, like a very specific example, this Space Marine is holding a plasma gun.
Yes.
You cannot later say, I want to proxy him as a Delta gun flamer bolter guy. You can't do that.
Yes.
Yeah. But within reason, like you are allowed to go and get creative, and you can like build a lot of all sort of very fun.
Yeah, Vick is a creative one. You look at his orcs.
But for WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get, right? Generally, it's just to make it clear that this guy, how do I put it? You have to represent who is what clear enough that your opponent is able to
different shades,
Yeah.
specialists.
You know who is what while we are in the toilet without asking you. Yeah, that's the rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like if you have a melee guy, right, then he's supposed to be like holding some sort of melee weapon. You don't go and give him a giant machine gun and say, sorry, this is my melee guy. Because I use that to beat you up. No, I don't think that one would be
Machine gun.
Okay, that clears things
Yeah,
up. That clears
yeah.
things
That's
up.
so-called within the bounds of common sense and decency lah.
Yeah, more or less.
If you have any doubts, just check in with the community. Then we'll just tell you like if that's allowed or not allowed.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But-
before we continue, so I'm just gonna quickly like surmise it in my own words what I've heard. Seems like there's in terms of what Kill Team is all about. We have emphasis on maybe not say emphasis, but there's some elements of combo making.
Yes,
Combo attacks, combo planning, together with somewhat limited. I will say limited lah. There's a pre-made option for you that can be altered within reason. So long as you don't go past the legal rules of the game.
Yep.
So easy to pick up. Somewhat easy to learn the rules, right? Given that the joke was that it's supposed to be for primary school or preschool. My 6-month-old daughter can play also lah. Then
So
so within certain limits, the pre-made.
usually the combos are already there within your team. You do not need to look too far ahead to figure out the combos. So for example, like a Nemesis Claw is the 6 Space Marines with the Batman outfits. Yeah.
Night Lords,
They have a
best.
very simple combo involved. So like when they are fighting anybody who is not at full HP, they get some bonuses for rerolling dice and all that.
Yeah.
They also have a ploy that says that whenever you charge into a target, right, you can just pop them for 1 to 3 damage. So that's a very simple combo in itself already. You just need to read the app and just figure out, hey, if I were to switch on this ploy,
If I do A, I get B.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
So that is
straightforward.
very straightforward combos. And every team has this kind of straightforward combos inside themselves
Okay.
they can look for.
More or less, yes.
Then the other more funky combos, that one you probably will need to experience it firsthand from another player before you understand how it works. So for example, Blooded, they have this guy who has a giant explosive. Then when he throws at the people, the explosive will explode and it will hit everybody around that. So if it hits A, some damage will get splashed to B. Then afterwards, when you went to hit B, right, the damage will splash back to A. So it seems quite straightforward, right? So the combo that people discovered was that if you include the bomber himself as C, then you can splash the damage around even more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and this kind of more interesting combos, right, you need to experience it firsthand before you realize that, oh, it can be done that way. Yeah.
Is it rules as intended or rules
Yes.
as written?
Yes.
Intended. It's
It's intended.
Yes.
Okay.
We're just waiting for you to
We will.
discover
We
it.
will
Yeah.
take over for it.
see.
Yeah,
Okay.
and also if you're discovering, you try that once, super rewarding. So
Have
that
you discovered any interesting combo because other people have used it on you?
oh yes, absolutely. So I was playing this thing called Legionary. So I'm a very long time Legionary veteran. But in the new edition, I didn't know much about it because the rules are so long. I'm like, oh man, I just want unga bunga. Until one time, there's this one friend who's from community. He plays Legionary against me, and then he picks out a leader, not as Korn, not as Nago, but as Zinch, which I never thought of picking up. Because this leader is supposed to bring a pistol. How could he be good at shooting, man? He just has a pistol. And he doesn't even bring plasma pistol, he brings a bolt pistol, which is a weaker version. But then that Zinch gets a severe, makes auto-critical hit at least once. And his own pistol, which is a bolt pistol, is not a normal pistol. It gets a rending, means that as long as you get one critical, another normal hit becomes another critical.
Yeah.
And then it's like double critical. It's like when you're shooting a bullet into somebody, it just punches much harder than plasma. And then you can shoot it twice as well. So after I was seeing that, then every single game with Legionary, I'll just use the leader with Zinch.
No, the
I'm
best-
like, I gotta try it once. It's really fun.
Yeah, the best combos are the friends you make along the way.
Yes.
From,
Cheesy as it is.
Really
from the
cheesy.
sound of it, it feels like you have to experience losing to discover combos.
You don't need
Yeah.
to experience losing. You
Yeah.
just need to experience it on yourself once, and then you realize that, oh, that is really
Yeah.
amazing. So the next time you are using that team, right, you know what to do.
Yes.
And for like newer players, right, when you pick up a team, right, there's really a lot of things going on. Like the ploy pages is like 5-6 pages by itself. Not to mention all the individual, every single operative has like some effects on its own.
Yeah.
So don't be discouraged. Usually what we do is we just learn a little bit of it first.
Yeah.
So other than your usual move shoot thing, you realize that, oh, maybe if my guy, if he doesn't move, he gets a little bit of bonus when shooting. Then you just try and play with that for the time being. Then later on, right, you slowly realize like, okay, this is a situation where I can try out this ploy. Then you just give it a go. Yeah.
So from your experience, do you think like each team are unique in their own combos?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
How many kill teams are there now?
Currently there are 38.
Yes, 38.
38, yes.
What the
With 2
what?
more coming
Yeah.
in very, very
That's
soon.
insane, man.
Absolutely.
No, but this is a good thing.
That's
It means
insane.
that everyone has a team that you can probably find a team that nobody else is really playing. Then
Yeah.
you can really call it your own.
Is there any repetitive combos currently?
Not really, but there are certain teams that like they function quite similarly with each other. So like all the Space Marine teams, because they are 6 men only, so they tend to play a certain style. Then compared to like the hot teams which have like 12, 13 men, then they will definitely play differently from the 6-man teams.
Yeah.
For example, yeah.
Wow.
But how they do it, there are some slight differences.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. We have a question from Derek Ho, Stormclad. Easy to learn, hard to master? Question mark.
Which one?
Easy to learn and hard to master. Is it so?
Is it a
Like,
game that
the
is
game,
easy to
I guess.
learn?
In general.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the game is very okay. I wouldn't say very easy to learn. There are quite a lot of things going on inside the game. So maybe focus on the basics first. Once you get the basics down, right, then you can start to look at all the other funky, wonky combos and stuff.
Yeah. But that said, personal experience when I was learning the new edition as well as teaching a new edition to new players using the Q-Team starter set. So the starter set has a Space Marine, you know, the blue Ultramarine boys, poster boys, and versus the Plague Marines from Death Guard. That set gives you lighter Q-Team rules, and then it gives you a pretty smooth experience in learning, you know, step by step into a Q-Team. It's like having a very friendly tutorial into a video game. So that one I personally fancy a lot. So I think in this part, Game Social is doing quite a good job. Yeah, it's personally, I think.
Most importantly, right, is you need to get table time. So you need to bring your stuff down and have a few games. Because Game So Short has this annoying habit of using like 2 full pages to just explain this guy just move here and just shoot. That's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
if for a beginner, which team would be easy to learn? For example, let's say I don't play Q team, so I'm always very curious. Like, there's so many different Q teams.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the same question as any beginners.
The coolest.
So, is it just the coolest?
The coolest. Okay, usually we recommend you pick up the team that you feel is the coolest to you, because when that team is cool to you, right, then you'll be motivated to want to play it more.
Yeah.
You want to see it more often.
Yeah, and also it's not just it's not just a look that is cool. Think about the theme. If you like a space policeman like Judge Dredd, you pick up Exaction Score. All the rules are so cool that you wouldn't feel bored reading them and trying to understand them.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I know
cool
that,
is the
Politically correct answer, because it's a Game So Short game, the easiest team to play is the Space Marine teams.
yes.
Oh.
But there's some truth in that, because there's only 6 guys. So it's easier to make sure they don't die.
Yeah.
Yeah, with like too many people, then it's like, hey shit, where is that guy?
Yeah.
More forgiving, I would say.
Yeah. Super soldier, you know?
But otherwise, I recommend just pick up whichever team you think is the coolest to yourself
Indeed.
and just start off from there. You'll be spending quite a long time with that team.
Yes.
All right. So we have 1Hao23 Daisorama.
Ah, yes.
Daisorama.
What's that about? What's that about?
This Daisorama. So, because one Q team is quite small, you can sort of fit the entire team inside one Daisorama.
Oh, the dice. Okay. Yes,
So it's
Daisorama.
Diorama in
So
the
instead of a
box.
diorama, it's a
It's
Daisorama.
Daisorama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it now. It's very clever. Okay.
It's a convenient way to store and transport your models.
And also display show off, man. Vic is
And it's,
so good at it. I
quite
love
easy
it.
to make. So, this is the display box. Then you just add a piece of styrofoam in. Then you can get one of these.
Wow.
Yeah, he's really great.
Amazing.
I love what Vic is doing. If you have a chance to join us on Friday, just let him show off. All right, you are not going to regret. It's like an exhibition.
Oh, don't worry. These are very easy to build. Building the Daisorama takes faster than painting one guy.
That is true.
So Derek Ho, I also second Chen Kai's experience. I think with regards to the Blue Boys, and then after that, Apao from the Grandfather's Workshop. Pao, you start with Galapox, easy one.
Galapox. I heard bad things about Galapox. Are they good?
Personally, I think Galapox, the playstyle is pretty different from usual human team or usual space marine team. It's a little tricky, but once you learn it, I think it's still gonna give you a very unique experience. Strong or not, I don't think it's really a concern. The concern is really you are emotionally invested into the theme again. Yeah, because again, rule of cool, meta is temporary.
Cool.
Don't bring them to Beta Decima.
Okay.
FY Beta Decima is one of the terrain kind setup.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the map setups.
Yes.
Oh yeah, another thing I saw about the cool things with Kill Team. Every Friday night I noticed that you guys play different type of Kill Team. Like there's the outdoor, there's the indoor.
Oh yes, there are a bunch of different official maps for Q Team. So there is like the outdoor Vocus, there's the indoor Into the Dark, and there's the swimming pool Beta Decima.
Yeah.
So Beta Decima is the one that the Galapox will fare the worst.
Yes,
Yeah.
but they are
Okay.
pretty strong in Into the Dark.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to switch gears up a bit.
Yeah.
So we have the teams, right? And just now you all mentioned something interesting to me, which is there's a lot of flavor. And given that there's 38 Q teams with 2 more on the way, I'm going to call it 40 from now on. It's a nice round number. I like it.
40k.
Yes, 40 Q
I
team,
guess.
40k.
Oh yeah, 40k.
So,
Tango.
given that, okay, so maybe let's start with the very simple question. Okay, so similarly, in like 20 words or less, what does flavor in Q team mean to each of you?
Flavor to Q team.
Personality.
In Q team.
Personality.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Honestly, like if you talk about flavor and Q team, to me that's like everything. I do not pick up miniatures because they are strong. I pick up because they are looking amazing and they feel amazing. Yeah. Like are you a fervent? Are you a very fervent believer of Emperor? Pick up the Sanctifier or Novitiate, or are you a devoted cultist of Corn? Pick up the latest. How do I call it?
Someone that loves wheat.
Yeah. The goremongers. The goremongers. Yes, that's pretty insane stuff.
So like if you are playing Q Team or other Warhammer 40k games, like most likely you are a big fan of the 40k lore.
Yeah.
So when you are picking up that army, you want the tabletop experience to fit what you know narratively about the army that you chose.
Very much.
So it will be a bit weird if let's say your con guys started casting spells and shooting range stuff and they are afraid of melee, they kind of
That's
stuff.
true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So in that sense, right, the Q teams, the lore translates pretty well into the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So it gives them a lot of personality in that sense.
personality, I hear also a bit of aesthetics. Am I correct to say that? Like there's a way, there's a
Based on the design of the
based on
miniature.
design,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
like-
absolutely.
The
Yes.
Q team models have this extra sprue that you use to differentiate them from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
all the different operatives,
Right.
specialists. Yeah.
So
So as a very avid gamer, and as someone who plays very competitively, I'm all about competition. I'm all about crushing my opponent. It's not enough to make them lose. I must make them despair.
Wow.
Victory points.
Yeah, I have to absolutely crush their spirit and soul. My concern, and this is something that I spoke at length with the Kings of War guys, right? We had the Kings of War fellas, they came down, and then the opposite problem is present in Kings of War, which is lack of flavor. Now, but in Warhammer Fantasy back in the old days, there was too much flavor, and this is a unique GW problem.
Yeah, it is.
And
It is.
when there's too much flavor, right? Something always pops up, and this is universal. Okay, now I'm going to see whether you guys agree with me on this or not. Number one, balance is just out the window. Like there's just, and with 40 teams, okay, I don't know how Q team where they don't even want to change, the pentagon into 5 inches.
Now everything is triangle.
Yeah.
But I mean, as
Triangle
a kind of we kind of established that they are quite lazy in rule writing and all that, and with 40 teams to balance, flavor fantastic. Everyone gets their unique style, flavor, whatever. But how does the balance measure up? How does what is it like in the competitive scene? I know you guys say like meta is temporary, but even within the meta, within a current era of this version, is it that one or two different teams just dominate, or are we seeing a wide selection? Roughly everybody gets like 50-60% win rate. What are we looking at here in terms of how balance is handled in QT?
Okay, official answer first. Games Workshop tries to keep the balance of the teams within 45% to 55% win rate.
Yep.
So whenever a team falls too far out of this 45 to 55% bracket, right, they will get hit in the next data slate. Either above or no.
How does GW track this? Do you know?
From
Is
their
it just in the tournament scene?
mostly tournament scenes?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the official answer. The answer that I will give from a player point of view is that there's a lot of things going on here. So firstly, right, there is a tier, yes. We all agree that certain teams are a bit better, a bit easier to play. Other teams are a bit harder to play.
Indeed.
But the differences between the tiers aren't as big as what you think. So like even in the global scene, right, not too long ago we had some guy who brought the Eldar team, Blades of Cain, which at that time was bottom tier, like all the way at the bottom.
Yeah.
Brought it to first place easily.
Yeah.
At the same time, in Spain, there are a lot of players who specialize in the Death Corps or Creek or the Vet Guards. That one is like a C tier team, but they are always the top winners in their scene, in their local scene. So for the game wise, right, it's more about the player skill itself. Player skill plays a much larger role than the team that you are piloting. Yeah, especially with so many teams, right? All the very weird combos, right? You will only figure them out after you have been really playing with the team for a while. Yeah.
So
Then
isn't it that just to press on a little bit because this is always the debate that I have with even just like on my own time, and because I'm very very particular about things like, for example, player conduct and how the game, right, functionally shapes the way that we promote culture within the community.
no, it's the other way around.
Before you,
Yeah.
So the way that I see it, right, feel free to disagree or interject or disagree or to tell us.
Objection.
Give up.
Chill. So roll dice.
Let me for example, just share when I was playing War Machine Hordes. War Machine Hordes is highly competitive. In fact, it's part of the rule. Okay, it's part of the rule culture. There's a special page called page 5.
Wow.
Okay, and at the top of the page 5 it says play like you got a pair. By the way, this is language that will never be printed like in this day and age.
Yeah.
Back in the day, this was a thing. Basically telling you stop being a whiny little,
Whiny little,
because it's a war game, you see.
Yeah,
I
but
see.
in terms of how politically sensitive all this kind of language is now. But the point being that because the game, right, promotes this culture, then the culture kind of surface bubbles to the top. There are casual players.
Yeah.
There are players who play they just don't care.
Yeah, they want to
don't
play
care about-
schematic and
yeah. So and I understand maybe some players they say, okay, I think it's the other way around. I think the community enforces the culture. That's to some extent it will always be true. But I think from my point of view is that when a game kind of creates these rule sets, right? And there is a certain type of player that is attracted to said rule set, and this type of players will generate its own unique type of culture as a result lah. So this is the thing that always I'm very concerned about, because flavor is good, all well and good. Okay, I love
Absolutely.
flavor.
Yep.
And from what you're saying, okay, GW has this thing where we are going to attempt to balance it out, and player expression, the skill expression is a priority. That all that being said, right, it feels like there's like 12 different things going on at once.
Yep.
What emerges at the top? Like, what is the thing that's currently,
The meta
happening?
wise.
Happening
Sigmar,
in the
you just grab any marine team. Currently they are
So you're saying that the
Yeah.
power armors are
No.
okay, so for in terms of Q team game balance, right? Yes, between the tiers, the difference isn't that big. Q team has two issues with the balancing. One is the matchup balancing. There are certain matchups that are very difficult to
Yeah.
even, like, let's say you are a marine team. If you were to fight a lot of people will disagree with me on this, but Kaskin currently is considered quite low tier, but they have quite a lot of anti-marine weapons with them. So
yeah,
if you
it's
use
like a
them
hard counter lah.
Kind of like that,
yeah.
There emerges hard counters, whether incidentally or unintentionally.
usually unintentionally. So like
Yeah.
certain matchups, you find it very difficult for one team to win the other, even though if that winning team happens to be of a like lower tier.
So it's like a scissors paper stone.
Kind of. The other one is the internal balance within the team. So Games Workshop didn't really do a good job in that. Like, when was the last time you saw someone went to go and pick a gunner flamer over the other gunner options?
Oh yeah, Flamer, nobody
Yeah.
picks.
Or like for the Hyrotech Circle, you only see Chronomancer, you don't see the other two Mancers.
Indeed.
Yeah. So the internal balance of the team needs a bit of work from Games Workshop.
I agree.
Yep.
From what you're saying, are you saying that people might bring similar lists all the
There
time?
are optimal lists.
Okay.
Okay, people will bring similar lists because most of the time they do not specialize in the Q team.
Yeah.
So they only buy like one box, then this is what I built, then this is what I play.
Yeah.
But if you look at the more competitive side of things on the global scale, right, the people who really specialize in their team, they will pick up a second box so that they are able to pick all the options. So like when we play against like a certain matchup, right, then we can tailor our list to fight that particular matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah. But over here, most of us aren't that hardcore. lah.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like optimization, right, it happens in every game. This one is
it does.
standard
It
one.
does.
Yeah,
You want the
because,
strongest team.
I mean, end of the day, right, let's put it this way. What makes something strong in a game is because there's something weak in the game. Like when you create a game, you can't make it balanced. You can't say, okay, like, to make everything balanced, right, it's very simple. Have one health, make everything does 2 damage, then it's balanced, right? If you want something that like reacts differently, plays differently, has a like a unique style to it, you kind of have to introduce different methods of playing games, right? Let's say there's an armor way of playing things, so like a tanky style. There's a fast way of playing games where you are less armored but have greater speed, greater firepower, greater melee power, so on and so forth. So there's all these different styles.
Yep.
Within the styles, sure, we'll have optimization, and within the optimization, sure, it means that there is some things that does the melee better than other things. So I think in terms of optimization, to me, this is not. I wouldn't call it a balancing issue lah. I mean that would be my point of view, my personal opinion.
Okay. Maybe I review a more higher level strategy for Q team. So there's this thing called breakpoints. So like, let's say you have like a 7 HP, for example. If your gun were to shoot 3 damage every time, you will need 3 hits to take out the 7 HP guy. But if your gun were to just shoot 1 more damage, 4 damage, right, you only need 2 hits to take out the guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So the point I'm trying to get across is that let's say you are only able to bring 1 heavy gunner for your marine team. So your heavy gunner has a lot of weapons you can choose from. For now, I will just say the missile launcher and the heavy bolter. So your missile launcher shoots less dice, but your damage is 6 or 7 damage. So you can 1-hit KO a normal guardsman, which is at 7 HP. But against a space marine, which has a lot more HP than that, it's not as useful as the heavy bolter, because the heavy bolter shoots more dice
Yeah.
And the Space Marine can only block at most 3 dice. So more damage goes through. So because of this, right, you're only allowed 1 heavy gunner. So in a sense, there is an optimal strategy in that you want to bring heavy bolter against marine teams. You want to bring missile launcher against the guardsman teams. But when you only have 1 box, then you can only build 1 heavy gunner.
Yeah.
Then at that point, when you're sitting on the table thinking about what to glue on, you have to decide whether you want the missile launcher or the heavy bolter. Unless you get the second box.
Or magnet.
That's
So
that.
in terms, so this is goes back to the VC week lah. Is that the issue here, that because you need to have the model accurately represent the list?
In casual game, you can just tell your opponent, hey, for now I just want to try out the missile launcher.
Yeah. We are pretty friendly community. Like
no worries about that.
all the time, because nobody builds a Melta for the Chaos Space Marine. So I just point at my little plasma guy. I'm like, I'm going to use it as a Melta because I feel like melting people, you know.
So
And then they are all chill.
So far, the consensus is that for Wizzy Week, right, is I will hold myself to a high Wizzy Week standard, but I do not expect the same of my opponent.
Yeah. Because after all, we want to be more inclusive towards each other. It's like it's not like we're fighting for $10,000 prizes. Come on.
I feel like
Don't
back
have to do
the
that.
whole competitive thing, right? The most important takeaway and thing to remember is that it's opponent, not enemy.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes. You guys are investing time to play with each other. You guys are having a good time, all right? You guys are just, traveling down to HammerHouse, all right? Roll some dice, enjoy this afternoon or evening, all right? We're not here to be enemy of each other, all right? Me and Vic, all right? And also other friends.
So would you say like Games Workshop design kill team in a competitive way?
Of course not.
Definitely not.
Definitely
right?
not. Based on
Okay,
like how
cool.
the rules are
Yeah,
all over the place.
and they try to be very thematic, thinking about like looking at the team designs. I mean, you look at a Space Marine in the 40k, primaries armor compared to kill team, 40 different kinds of flavor, 40 different kinds of stories to tell.
I believe for Games Workshop, at every single rulebook, at the very front, the first page, there's a disclaimer that says that before the game starts, right, just have a discussion with your opponent on like things like visibility, terrain, what is what, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like consensus. Have fun.
Yeah, but most important take point is opponent, not enemy.
Very much, man.
Nice.
That's like the kill team Bible.
That's good.
All right, let's head back to the chat. We got some to go through. Okay.
Super chat.
Wow.
Okay. Derek Ho, Daiso tie up when? Oh, I don't know. We gotta ask.
Daiso is a great place for all your miniature needs. Not only Daiso Ramas, you can also get those big what's that?
Transport
Those,
cases?
Yeah, transport cases. Those like square cases.
Yeah. You have a handle.
Just nice a space marine inside there. There's enough space.
Oh yeah.
Bro, I tell you, I don't know how much Daiso has drained out of me, okay? Like, our shoebox,
Man, all of us.
I have a
Never ending
entire
supply.
cabinet on the top. It's just the Daiso shoebox.
Yes.
Daiso got membership. I'm platinum member.
It drives my wife nuts.
You probably
like,
are.
she's- Like, there's all these just shoe boxes. It's just stacking there, and
Every time people complain they cannot find the Daiso display case, I just
It-
tell them,
it's
sorry,
be-
I bought the
It's because of him. Yes, it's because of him. Yes.
All tabletop gamers love Daiso.
yes. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, I will. Okay, Pao, don't do it. I was being sarcastic. Don't get the Galapox.
Oh,
Okay.
That was good.
yeah.
Oh, we are all playing indoor, no jokes. Okay. When how 23 personality equals that person that will be identified with a team every time you appear for the kill team gathering.
Yes, correct.
So are
Because-
you just call each other by your kill team, the squad, is it?
No, but like we have like certain people that we know
Who
they are,
really likes a
they
certain
are
team.
very good at that specific team. So
So
Yeah,
they're like
yeah,
the
yeah.
expert of that kill team.
Yes.
Yeah,
Represent that team.
because they invest a lot
Wow,
of
this is very
emotion in it.
interesting.
because there's like 38 teams, so it's pretty easy to pick one team and that nobody else is really using.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then after a while, when you keep using it and then you because you keep using it, you get better at it. Then people start to notice and then they
Yeah.
acknowledge you as the champion, the guy for this team. Yeah.
Doctor of Kaiserkin.
Yeah. So whenever they want to try out their team, right, they come to you first to ask for tips.
Yeah.
Or to ask for you to demonstrate on them how to do the explosion and stuff.
Okay, so Derek Ho, official GW tournament rotate out teams. Okay. So the grandfather's workshop, I think this is in response to me, okay? You want to be invited back to play with your friends though, got to keep it lighthearted. Crushing your opponent's hopes and dreams sounds a bit extreme. Let me share with you a quick story of when I went to Taiwan.
Oh.
And I came in second place in the tournament.
Oh.
And the reason I came in second place, right, was I beat this opponent until, right, he quit the game.
Oh my
forever.
god, you
Oh,
crushed
wow.
his pen?
I really, yeah. I mean, and it's not exactly because, right, I was playing exceptionally well. He had a dice roll flop, okay? But I capitalized on it so exceptionally well that, so I mean, it was a back and forth, okay?
Yeah.
It was like very, very tight.
Let's see what the trash talk.
No,
No,
just
no.
the game.
The game is still, yeah,
Actually, we were
competitive.
we were very cordial and friendly to each other, but he had a string of flops. Okay. And I took my chance. I saw an opportunity. I took it and then I just ran with it so hard and so far. I mean, I took no chances because it's a tournament. In a normal game, you know, someone like flops so hard, right? Then it's just like, okay, like we just, you know,
Let's
try,
rewind.
we just try to like take it easy and
Yes.
not.
Indeed,
you know,
indeed, yeah,
I
tournament
beat
gets
you,
stakes.
but I don't crush you. But no, not with me. I destroyed this man's dream so hard that he quit the game forever.
Ouch.
Now it's a bit unintentional, okay? But that's my style. Unfortunately, you know, for better or for worse,
In tournaments, sometimes you have to do that as a respect.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what I feel.
It's like you're Stephen Curry and then your opponent is
Yes.
LeBron James. What are you supposed to do? I don't know. Smile and shake hands? Probably not. You gotta respect the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you need to.
When
Yeah.
you put your stuff on the
Expectation.
table and have a game,
Yeah.
you should play the game with the intent to win.
Right. It's
Yes,
not training. It's
yes,
even
yeah.
final.
Because it's a
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah,
It's a
you gotta
different
commit.
attitude in
Like,
tournament.
even in casual games, like you should go in with the intent of trying to do your best to win the game.
Yeah.
Yes, you
yeah.
can be competitive, just don't be
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah,
just
again,
don't be an
it's
asshole.
opponent, not
Yes,
enemy.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are off.
don't be a bad person.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed.
Yes.
So, Derek Ho is a new concept GW has introduced recently. Sorry, I'm not really certain what is this in relation to. I mean, it's just a while back. You know, Taylor Swiftly, Marv,
Taylor
for
Swift?
Ultra.
Really?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, I thought a Lady Gaga season, no?
Okay, Derek Ho, time to buy another box. I think this is in response to Vic's comment.
Yeah.
Or pursue
For some
attractive
Q teams,
options.
you have to get 2 boxes.
Yeah. Some of them.
Some of them.
But a lot others, there are a lot of other options. One box is enough for you to, have a very good time. Yeah, it's just a few of them dedicated to, for example, Chaos Cult, for example, Blue Brothers. Yeah, a little niche.
Yeah. Once again, if you are new to Q team, just checking with the current players, then
Yeah.
we will tell you all the things you need to know.
Yeah, or better, just come and book a demo. We can have some fun together before you even try to buy a team, and then you can sign up for the game.
Derek Ho, no lay Chen Kai quite intense when game on. Hee.
Huh? Am I intense on game? I'm sorry, man. Wait.
Hey, don't apologize. All right, don't apologize. Take that apology back.
Yeah.
No, I want to.
Yes, it's an honor.
No, I don't want to. I only want to have fun. Like, I only want.
Yes, crush his pen.
No, I just won't play. No, I don't want to
Chen Kai
rotate.
is mine, right? He's like, I'm all rainbows and sunshine, but during the game, it's like,
I'm so sorry. Sometimes I'm like that. I'm so sorry.
okay.
I want to be a wholesome person. All right.
Okay,
Check out HammerHouse.
Ed Lee, so he says, drop the heavy bolter and missile launcher, plasma all the way, at least for Nemesis Claw.
Heavy gunner, no plasma.
No. He's saying like, don't even bring the.
Oh,
Plasma all the way.
No, just don't bring both. Just bring all melee.
Ah,
Oh, see, it's all melee team.
indeed. lah,
Flavor,
indeed.
okay.
You're right.
But
Yeah.
it's more fun to beat someone to death with a missile launcher.
Okay. What's the difference? Like missile launcher, is it because it's more damage?
Oh no,
Splattering?
Nemesis Claw is a melee team, but they give you some range options so that you can shoot back at people. But because you are a melee team, right, usually it makes more sense to go all in on the melee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, it's more fun to beat someone to death with your missile launcher. They don't expect it.
Yeah. What we is saying is that not shooting the missile launcher. You
charge fight and you beat
you
people.
swing the missile.
Wow. Okay. Now I get it.
Yeah, like a bomb stick.
Yeah.
But just
You
bomb.
still get your D3 damage and
Take the missile launcher,
Yes.
stick it in the face, and then
Yeah. Not bazooka style. Not bazooka style. Just bomb stick.
Okay. Writers. Opponent, not enemy. Love it. Okay. I think that's a good philosophy also.
Absolutely. War games, alright? It's
yeah.
game.
I mean, end of the day, gamers unite, right? And we are all in it for the love of the game.
Indeed.
Let's not demean each other. Of course, play to
Right.
the best of your sportsman level. Play
Absolutely.
to your best. Don't just give up halfway, and don't criticize your opponent. Don't say he's just lucky.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes
That's
some of
how
us
it is.
win, some of us lose. It's all good. It's all good.
Imagine the
best
guy.
part of-
Yes, sorry.
The best part of all the game nights isn't the game itself.
No, it's
It's the
not.
dinner afterwards.
Yeah,
Okay.
like you are chatting downstairs, you talk about the lore, you
hang
talk
out.
about new
Yeah,
games,
yeah.
and then you talk about new teams and also new rules, and then you also can come to talk with Bao, my favorite manager of HammerHouse. I mean, personally favorite. Yeah, I love Bao, man. Yeah, look at his hair, it's furry.
Like, sometimes like within the community, I see people who like, oh, today is an even number, then I probably don't want to come down. It's unlikely for me to get a game, that kind of stuff. But no, I'm thinking like if it's convenient for you, you happen to be around the area, just drop by lah. We can
Yeah,
just
indeed.
Sit down, have a chat.
Yeah.
You know, when Apao and I were together with some of the veteran gamers, when we go down and we sit down, we still reminisce over like the old games that we like some of the
Yes.
some of the old
Yeah,
school
yeah.
shenanigans. we have.
Ridiculous.
Indeed,
Papasan.
indeed.
It really is the memory that you create. That's
Till
like the,
now, I still remember 2 years ago, Q Team. My Grey Knight jumped through a window to beat up a Pathfinder. I wrote nothing. The Pathfinder beat me up. I died.
Hey, all right. Don't even talk about Pathfinder. Don't even talk about Pathfinder. One time, I have a legionary, and he has a bow gun, and I shamelessly say that was the only time I beat up a dog. So I have a legionary. He has a bow gun, and then it's a Star Strider puppy just right beside him. I was thinking, you know what? That puppy is so lonely and then so gullible. Might as well charge and punch that. And I missed all my punches, and that legionary got just beaten up by the dog alone, and then he just died on spot. I was like, oh, devastated. The stories are there.
Don't worry, we love dogs. We love dogs.
Yeah, we love dogs. Yeah, it was the only time I tried to beat up dogs, and I got karma.
Anyway, I found out why the Grey Knight lost. Because the Pathfinder isn't a demon.
Oh, makes sense. It makes sense.
Makes sense.
accurate lore.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you gotta bring the Death Watch.
Okay, John, finish your story. Actually, I kind of did, but never mind. I will explain more another time. At Lee, I beat one of Chen Kai's blooded with a heavy bolter in close combat with a knife.
Oh,
I remember that. I remember
Bayonet
that.
on the heavy bolter.
Yeah.
my god.
I remember that.
Interesting.
That hurts.
Curtis Tan, do you guys organize painting tutorial for new players? Guess this will be more for.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. HammerHouse has that.
Yes. So we do have introduction to miniature painting. So you can visit our store, scan the QR code, and sign up to show interest, and then we will schedule a date with you.
Make sure to sign up. If not, if they don't have enough numbers, it can be difficult to organize because
Yes.
they need to get the
Yes,
trainer
yes.
down. The guy who
Yeah.
coaches and all that.
Express
So,
interest.
Minimum of 6.
Yeah. So
Within the WhatsApp group, we also like to show off our stuff. So if you
Yeah.
see something that's cool, you can just ask how is it done.
Yeah, join our community, learn from the pros, and then pick one of them.
No, we are all amateur painters over here.
I'm not even
Just
saying I'm a
enjoy
pro.
painting.
Yeah,
doing
just enjoy
tutorial.
painting. It's a lovely time.
Come down and see Vic stuff.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's
Yes,
really
amazing, man. Truly.
Wen Hao, missile launcher equals style points.
Oh,
Yeah.
Starphone, indeed.
sounds like Team Fortress.
Routers, I agree. KT plays best when both players are cordial but playing to win. Playing by intention and clearly communicating can really help strike this balance. And then Derek Ho, the concept of playing by intention resonates with me too. Yes.
My intent is to win.
Yeah.
So I actually
Win
also
with
had
style.
a very, very long conversation with, I think it was Joel from 40K and someone else also, I think Paige also from
Yes.
King's
Yes,
also,
yeah.
regarding gaming by intention.
I remember that episodes.
It's a very ideal concept. Personally, I would resonate with it. I guess my only concern with it is, and this one I expressed it previously, is it leaves too many. When you play by intention, you leave a lot of assumptions open, and because what you're doing right is assumptions you're plugging in with the best intention by your opponent or by yourself, and sometimes this leads to miscommunication. So the example that I often give right is that okay, I say okay, I put this thing. Then I say I measure. Then the other fellow says, okay, never mind. I assume that you're trying to be out of charge range.
Oh no.
No, that's gaming by intention.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
that's the
Yeah.
that's the ideal, right?
Yeah.
So I put object A, then he says, okay, object B is out of charge range. Then by accident, the object A is now in the charge range of something else. But had they measured properly, it might have been avoided. But this something else, the opponent said, okay, I'm charging you. So the intention of not being charged by object B is already there. But then after that, there's some extraneous thing that happens that supposed to be plugged in by intention, end up wasn't. And this is the thing that sometimes, for me personally, I think precise gaming is a better way of handling situations, which is when I was the so-called old blood for Warhammer Fantasy back in the day. The thing that I drum in over and over again, and you can ask Paul about this, is all about precision. I don't care about your intention. You should play with the best of intention, but precise gaming for me is the way to go. And this is just my opinion.
Yep.
I'm not saying everyone should follow.
I got whipped by John a lot of times.
Yeah, so
Wow.
because we've seen the consequences
sloppiness.
of sloppy play.
That's true. That's
And
true. Can get frustrating.
It's just impossible to deal with. And I actually I'm also like semi-famous in certain circles where I actually get into people's faces when there's all this sloppiness involved, and I will not tolerate it.
Agree. Which is what the measuring tool is trying to solve. So instead of pulling out that long 12-inch ruler, right, you use that measuring tool, 2-inch, 2-inch, 2-inch. It becomes very clear cut whether the figure is in or out
Yeah.
of certain ranges and how far it can reach and all that.
Yeah.
If you feel like your opponent is running a bit too fast, just always slow him down. Just pause the game and then just really check for yourself.
Yeah.
See if it's in or not.
And also,
One good habit we have for Q team is we like to keep one dead model around.
Yeah.
Use as the
okay.
measure out whether certain things can be done or not.
yeah, and nowadays, if you pay a closer attention, the Q team, every single Q team, they come with a couple of different tokens, right? So inside tokens, it's not just those thematic tokens, like for example, blood, for example, brutal counting things. It also includes tokens like 25 millimeter and also 28, 32, 40 millimeter, just empty circles. That's all. That circle is exactly for you to proxy your model's movement.
Actually, what I find the recent trend in a lot of the newer games, right? I mean, when I say newer games, I'm talking like even as
The new school, I guess.
as early as, let's say, like the year 2000. As
Oh.
compared to, let's say, like the 8th edition type, which is like old games, right? We're talking like
20
in
years
the
old.
70s.
Yeah.
So in the newer games, right, they have a lot of precision inbuilt into the system itself. I think like with Zhan Hui when he was talking about Infinity,
Right,
I really
right.
like the cylinder, the idea of the cylinder, like the
yes.
Right.
to
I
dock
remember
the
watching
model,
it.
to use it as a tool for precision to say that look, this is the actual thing that you're supposed to represent.
Yep.
So
Yep.
can you see my thing through this window, as opposed to the WCWIC model, which may include extraneous things like the flowy cloak,
The pose.
The dynamic poses.
Yes.
a lot of the newer games, and now I know, of course, with Q Team as well, that
Yep.
there is precision inbuilt into the game, which is,
No,
by the way, this is not the norm back in the day, and
We can imagine, yeah.
I'm thankful
For
for that.
Q team, unfortunately, they go with the goofy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like,
Extreme poses.
But also,
in our community, the way we handle it is I'm going to shoot at you now because I can see this part. I'm going to give you one chance to rotate the model. If I can still see it, I'm sure.
More forgiving.
Yes.
For
Because
the
after
benefit.
all, we are just a community of friends.
Yes.
But also, there are more specific rules regarding those. So, for example, there are two sides of a bases. For example, if I want to shoot someone behind cover, I need to see the both sides of his bases, the left side of bases and right side of bases from the head of my miniature, and then I can say that this guy, he's not under cover. Yeah, something like that. So the bases couldn't lie. It's at 32 bases.
So there's
unless
no
you're attacking
argument.
Yeah,
right?
this is the precision inbuilt into the game now. Where
Yeah.
I mean, in the past, like one of the worst things I find
yeah.
in miniature gaming, right, is true line of sight. But I think nowadays they are
it's
doing
a
it a little bit better. Like in the past, right, true line of sight was just a nightmare.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
understand, and There will
It can lead to arguments.
Look, I could sit here for the next half an hour, talk to you all the shenanigans.
Like games, right? When your what is that called? Your Space Marine Rhino, right? You have to do the X thing. Then this is the front arc.
Front fight.
Yeah.
I still can't be horse heresy.
Yeah, the nightmare.
Thematic, but a little
thing that
troublesome.
made it so much better now, right? Isn't all the rules and all that. Is this invention of the line laser? Which you can get at HammerHouse.
It's amazing. Yes, line
That one
laser.
is the most important invention.
It is
for
very
tabletop
important, but I think what's like clearer about the rules nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Is like very specific caveats. Okay, you have to see both sides of the base. You have to you have to use this cylinder thing. You have to use the 2-inch the triangle, like what the Q thing. Yeah. So all this I think contributes to lesser misunderstandings.
And lesser
And to
argument.
Go back to
The best way to solve this is when you are playing over here, you have other people around. You just ask a third party to verify. Hey, can that guy see my guy?
Yeah. Resolve it
I mean, this
courteously.
one, yeah.
Sportsmanship.
Indeed, sportsmanship. Yes.
Or pay now, pay cash.
Oh,
The table.
No, we do not do that. We only accept the
I'm going to
phone
go back to
point.
the chat. And then after that, we kind of got to wrap it up a little bit. Okay, we are a bit past the timing, but that's okay. I'm going to go back to chat for a while. Then after that, I'm going to ask Pao for upcoming events.
Yes.
Yep.
Then after that, final word from our two guests. And then after that, we will wrap up today's episode. All right? So, okay. There we go. Orc Rekkas got you covered on Rocket Melee. Okay, so that was what we talked about. Pao and John, great guys, even when crushing dreams. Thank you very much. Who's Pathfinder? Ha ha ha. Do we have our first Pathfinder?
Yeah,
Finder?
Tao Pathfinder.
Yes,
Tao
Tao Empire.
okay.
Yes.
Tao Hua.
Oh,
Okay.
Ed Lee, I always say, remember, it's a game. A game we play to have fun. Don't play to win. Play to learn and have fun. Even if you lose, you can learn from a game. Experience is still a game. Yep, absolutely. Fair.
Absolutely.
I think that's a fine philosophy to live by. But writers, this is Brendan, by the way. Excellent talk here. Smiley face. Thank you very much. We aim to please. Okay.
Yes.
Writers is a fair point, especially a tournament need to be clear and narrow about any intentions, or you end up with misunderstandings. Like you said, as a frequent tournament player, I can't tell you how many times this has happened.
Yes,
even if you play among the best of intentions players.
Just
Yeah.
call the TO world.
Yeah. The
TO
frustration
is there to
happen.
help you.
Yeah.
That's why I hate to be a TO.
Yeah.
It's sometimes, right,
Yeah.
not say one, it's not about the TO. What sometimes it's just you have the like I said, the issue with gaming by intention is assumptions and expectations.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
You're right.
never
Yes.
say- that's the point of playing by intention, is you never say it out loud.
Yeah.
And this is where gaps occur. I mean,
I
I've
think it's
also-
worse if you if you keep quiet and then you just move your guy.
Yeah,
End up being
yeah.
bad.
and the point of playing
Oh.
by intention, right, is don't involve a TO.
Yeah.
That's the point of playing by
Yes.
intention.
Yeah.
But I agree. End of the day, TO is there to arbitrate
Yeah.
True.
any misunderstandings. But I guess my point stands, and I won't harp on it too much longer. Let us now cut to Apao.
Yes.
Tell us all about what's happening. Big news for HammerHouse.
Okay, so
Yeah.
coming week, HammerHouse is visiting UK Games Expo.
Well,
It's good.
And because of that, we will be closed at certain dates. So on 29 and 30th,
You can see in the description.
yes, under the description. So on 27, we close at 7 p.m. 28 and 29, we are 28 we are closed at 7 p.m. 29 and 30th, we are closed. 31st of May and 1st June, we are open from 12 o'clock to 7, only retail, no gaming, sorry. And on Monday and Tuesday, the following Monday and Tuesday, 2nd and 3rd, we are closed as well. However, we are back on business on 4th.
yeah.
As
Regular
usual.
hours resume.
Right.
Yes.
And-
That's your painting day and your backlog clearing day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, and
So
in the
bear with
meantime,
us for this while,
yeah.
okay?
So in the meantime,
And-
the web orders will be slightly delayed.
Yeah.
But after that, the store is going to back in business, and you are here to roll your dice.
Clear your backlog, do your
Yeah.
painting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, and also at the end of August, we are also visiting Table Conquest.
Absolutely. Let's
Yes.
go.
Back.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Congress.
yeah.
The big.
I think
Share with
that's all.
us
Oh yeah.
the
Oh yeah. So
upcoming
on
event
the
in June.
events in June, On the 21st, we're gonna have the Marvel Crisis Protocol event, and on 22nd of June, we're gonna have the what's that called? Age of Sigmar Spearhead. Yes. So the news pack will be coming out soon. Okay, and also on the 29th, we have the Warhammer Meet and Play as well.
40k.
40k, yes.
Yes.
I mean, now it's only 40k.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Fantasy will.
Oh, come on, fantasy is still fun, man. Think about Cathay.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Are you excited?
It's about over.
If
Yeah,
I really
yeah,
want to,
Cathay,
if
Grand
I
Cathay.
really want to visit
Alright.
Cathay, I'll go to the OC Leisure.
If you got one, it's still there. You just reopen.
Yes. So look, once bitten, twice shy. Alright. Never again, never get my heart ripped out again. Too many new and fantastic games to play anyway, so
That's true.
never go back to an ex-girlfriend, like I always say.
Oh.
Alrighty, so functionally, we are at the end of the podcast. However, I would like our two guests,
Q-Team,
captains,
Friday.
final words on Q-Team. Overall, okay, I love the idea, I love the concept. I always enjoy flavor as well. Looks like it's somewhat newbie friendly, beginner friendly
Yep.
game that you can relatively pick up. Community seems fun, seems relaxed. Combos, you've loved combos. This is the game for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Combo Wombo.
Combo wombo. Unga bunga.
Unga bunga.
Unga
Yeah.
bunga all the way. And then okay, so
Oh yes, one
Let's-
pretty important point about Q-Team that we all missed out. Because it's such a small group of miniatures, right? You can really personalize your Q-Team and make it stand out from everybody else's.
Yes.
So like I believe you saw my Pathfinders down there just now. There's also like the Necrons. Usually they are more metallic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then if you are really into the kit bashing and all that, you can try getting some AOS models.
Yeah.
Yeah. And put on the
it's all
weapons.
GW, man. It's all kosher.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, you just kosher.
Yeah. And because it's just one team, it doesn't really hurt the wallet that much.
Okay.
And also, like every Friday night, there's
Do join
quite a
us.
Yeah,
huge
yeah.
Q-Team group.
Yeah, usually full house, 12 people, but you just come and hang out and then just ask some questions. We are absolutely so pleased to, share with you more about the excitement in this game.
Yeah, even if you are new, just come down, take a look.
Yeah,
Yeah, figure out that 2 pages of rules are just trying to tell you
Yeah.
just move and shoot. That's all.
chat with folks, talk about laws. I love it. Yeah.
Alright, and with that, that's the end of today's episode. Thank you very much, Chen Kai. Thank you very much, Vic, for
Thank you for
Thank
having
you, John.
time
Thank you,
to
thank
tell
you,
me
Bao.
more about Q Team. Thank you very much, Apao, for being my wonderful co-host tonight.
I'm standing in for
And thank
Johan.
you- Johan's very busy.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
And then after that, we thank you very much, Chat, for contributing all your questions and comments. We love it. And that shall be all for tonight. Thank you very much once again, and we shall see you next time.
Bye bye.
HammerHouse, bye.
Friday night.
Yeah.
Yes.